All right, who's nervous?
Go ahead.
Take it away.
Mr. Fandom.
I hope everybody's enjoying the hospitality. And I would like to thank Jeff Breland and his fiancee Leslie. They opened up their home for everybody here this evening, and I can say it's very impressive to see the turnout here.
Thank you.
I think somebody told.
Thank you.
Somebody told us a while ago they were trying to come through the gate, and the security guard at the gate said, "Let me guess."
Yeah, I warned them earlier today. I said, you're gonna be busy.
There's several candidates for office in here this evening, and a couple elected officials. Cindy King, Councilwoman for Slidell, she's here.
She just
walked out.
I guess I'll also start out with, there's some people that might not know me. I'm Randy Family from Chief of Police for the City of Slidell. And, Tommy Williams has been my right-hand man for the last, well, I've been chief for 7 years, but he's been there for a lot more than 7 years. And I can say one thing, he's one hell of a man. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming. Tommy asked me if I'd come here tonight. Absolutely. A lot of people don't know it. I've told Tommy from day one, I am in your corner. Whatever you need from me, I will be there. I haven't been very vocal up to this point. I wanted to get past the qualification date, but I will be coming out extremely strong in support of Tommy Williams. He is the best candidate for sheriff in the St. Tammany Parish, and I would like to see integrity put back in that office. I'm not one to bash anybody, but I'm just going to say facts. It's time we put integrity in that office.
Absolutely.
St. Tammany has paid the taxpayers, you and I have paid too many bills in court caused by St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office. There's a recent development this week where in federal court they found in behalf of Jared Rogers. I don't know if y'all been seeing that. Well, that is a huge black eye for St. Tammany Parish. And there again, we need integrity back in that office. It's not a change of leadership. I think it's about time St. Tammany Parish had leadership in that office. I've been the police chief of Slidell for 7 years. It took me 3 years to clean that place up. God bless you.
I told you. Quick story, he came to my house at 7 in the morning. I got in the truck with him. He told me he's running for chief. I said, let me out.
And I tried to get him back, but he wouldn't unlock the door.
Finish, chief.
You got your hand full, brother. But there's not another man that I'd rather see in that office. I want to thank you for stepping up, and I'm going to turn it over to you and Ken. Thank you.
I think it was, and you can correct me, Susan, because you probably remember, was it St. Patrick's Day last year? Was it the parade when I ran into y'all and you said, he's going to run for sheriff? Was that what it was?
It might have been.
It was in Old Town, it was packed, it was hot, and I remember I was just like, yes. At the time, I was still on TV, so I couldn't really do that, publicly. But I just remember when Tommy told me, I'm going to do this, I thought, amen. Like, this is what we need. Being on TV for 30-something years, I've never been involved in politics. I couldn't. I had to be unbiased, right? But this guy right here, both of these, I trust them with my life.
Thank you.
Like, I could say that. I trusted you. I remember, it's a long story, but Randy literally helped me. There's a hurricane, my parents were missing in another state, and I called him middle of the night, and he answered the phone.
I was climbing through the attic of Slidell.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay. But anyway, my point is, character-wise, there's no better than this guy. Like, I get all emotional. I just really think that, it is time for change. 2 terms was plenty. We don't need another one.
That's all he said he wanted.
Yeah, well, I know. But I'm going to turn it over to Tommy and let him tell you a little bit about himself and his passion for turning things around and being an amazing leader.
Thank you. This is my wife. My mom, my dad, my family, my brother Jeff, my sister-in-law Lee, my daughter, beautiful daughter Madison, 2 of my grandchildren, this man Tracy, Rob. Where's Rob? I'm looking around this room. Skip, thank you for not running. If you want to get him out of the house, Marilyn. Look, some of you in here know my story, so a lot of you don't. I'm going to bore you with my life story. I grew up in Slidell, Louisiana. I was born in Baptist Hospital. I went to Pearl River High School and graduated from Pearl River High School. I love Pearl River. That is my home away from home. I have a Slidell address, but I went to that school. We all had borderlines back in the 80s. Doreen, I went to school with this lovely lady right here. She was in my class. We graduated together. So anyway, after high school, I joined the Navy. My whole family was Navy. My dad rode Vietnam, USS De Haven DD 727. My grandfather, who's passed, O.D. Morton, he was on the USS White Plains back in World War II as a Jeep carrier. I forgot, remember George's boat?
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City. But anyway, my whole family was Navy, so I joined the Navy. I came home and told my parents that I'm joining the Navy. They were excited because I had a job. I had something to do now. I told them what my job was going to be, and I think my mom may have passed out or something. I was a nuclear weapons technician, so I worked with the bomb. Some of you know that, some of you don't. I'm just glad we never had to use those things. I was one of the guys in the military that nobody talked about, but we were there. Mr. Jimmy right here is a representative for the VFWs around this parish. So we were just the silent service. I did that. I enjoyed my job. I excelled at my job. I went in boot camp as an E2, came out as an E3, went to my ship in 6 months. I was meritoriously advanced to E4, and after about a year of that, I became a petty officer 2nd class in E5. So I excelled. I've never been one to stand in one place. So after the military, the first George Bush did away with the nuclear weapons program that I was involved with. It's a good thing, guys. I put to bed thousands of nuclear weapons, enough weapons to destroy this planet 100 times over. They're all put to bed now. They're out in Area 51 and 52, buried in salt mines under the ground. They're going to be here long after we're gone. They're never going to go away.
Thank you for your service, Tom.
Thank you, Skip.
Yeah.
So I decided I needed to do something with my life. My father was a policeman. In the military, I kind of was a guard, guarded the weapons, did things like that. So I had a little bit of background in security thing. So I enrolled in the police academy in St. Augustine, Florida. The first day I sat in that class, there was a sheriff that walked in and 2 deputies that were going to be our instructors for that class. The sheriff walked in, his uniform was pressed, his boots were shined, creases in his sleeve, everything on his uniform was military-esque. I leaned over to the girl next to me, her name was Nancy, I'll leave her last name out of it, and I said, Nancy, I'm going to be him one day. And she leaned back and said, yes, you will. I left, went through the academy, graduated, went to Georgia, worked in Georgia, did my time in Atlanta, so I have the big city policing. I made it to sergeant up there because if there's no openings, you can't get promoted. Just like here at Slidell PD. You have to have openings so you can get promoted. I retired from up there to come back to be a trooper. This man talked me into coming home. I couldn't wait to get out of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going back to Louisiana. Came back, went through the whole process to be a trooper. That didn't work out. There was a governor at the time, Jindal, who had to do some budget cuts, things like that. That cost me my opportunity to be a state trooper. I really wanted to do that. That was the thing I wanted to do. And I said, one day I'm gonna be the head of the state police, but I knew I wanted to go. That didn't work out. Freddie Drennan kept begging me to come to work. I went to work for Slidell PD. I just retired from there with 15 years of service. Thank you for allowing me to do that. Now we're at this point in my life. I am one to never stand in one place, as you just heard. I've always firmly believed that if you never take a step forward, you're always standing in one place. This is my last step in my law enforcement career. You won't see my name on another sign anywhere. And I'm gonna have a little contract drawn up, and Lee's gonna do it for me, and I'm gonna put it on my Facebook and everywhere else it needs to be, that I won't do no more than 2 terms. Everybody, I've been bombarded with questions. I get Facebook questions. I get questions in public when I'm out speaking and talking. I'll talk to anybody. I'll walk up to you and introduce myself to you now. I just will walk up and talk to anybody. I don't care. I want this job more than I can tell everybody in this room. This means the world to me. This is a very large ship that I'm asking to drive. People like him, Skip, and other people, Chuck, where's Danny? Don't hide back there, Fonte. A lot of y'all know Danny. That guy was treated wrong by this current sheriff. This man had 27 years total service over there. Because he wouldn't go shake a sign that said Randy Smith, he had to leave. They fired him. Now, he's coming back to work for me. When I'm elected, this man's coming back to work. Well, he knows that, right? Pauline, here's a husband and wife team, fired a week before Christmas, right? Same sort of scenario. That has got to stop. But what I'm saying is, we've got to change the culture of the Sheriff's Department. I have to do that, and I can't do it without your help and the help from the people that are still remaining there. He's hired 11 of them. I'm gonna get some of them back.
No, you're not. While he's saying that, though, we have hired the cream of the crop from over there over the last 4 or 5 years. Some of them come over with 15 years. A lieutenant come over here recently. And when you see that happen, there's only one thing wrong with that. It's leadership at the top.
There is
Lack
none.
of.
There is none.
The sheriff has got on TV and made all these statements and says that I'm the hiring and firing authority. Well, be the hiring and firing authority. Look these 2 people in the eye when you tell them their services are no longer needed here. Did he do it? No. If you work for me, people work for Ray, any other business owners in here, you've hired and you fired those people. I will look each and every one of them in the eye and tell them, this is why you're not needed here, or I'm glad to have you on board. So we have to rebuild the agency. They're so shorthanded over there right now. Just know that you're sleeping good at night in your beds because of Slidell PD, Pearl River PD, Mandeville PD, Folsom, Covington. Those agencies are keeping you really safe. The Sheriff's Department kind of does this. It intertwines between all of those agencies. They're shorthanded. Some nights they work with 3 deputies out here. It's ridiculous. 4 deputies, if they're lucky, and a supervisor. Why? Because he doesn't have the people to put on the road. The jail, $1,441,000 and some change in overtime budgeted for next year. It's on the budget. Everybody can look at it. It's right there in black and white. That, to me, tells me there's a huge problem. If you have that much money budgeted for overtime, where's your salaries and benefits package? There's nobody there to fill those voids. So you're having to bring in other people to fill those voids. They have an app that they use. It's on there every day. Jail overtime, jail overtime, jail overtime, jail overtime. And when there's days when they don't have enough people to watch the jailer or watch the inmates, those cameras that are mounted on the walls are watching the inmates. It could be some of your family members that have no protection at all. We have to change that. The jailers start way down here in salary. We need to bring that up a little bit. If we have that kind of money in overtime, I know we can pay them a little bit better to get them up somewhere close to a patrol deputy, because some of them have aspirations to go to the road to protect us out here, right? So it's a big ship. I want to drive it. I need everybody's vote and anybody you can convince. I'll answer any questions. What you got?
Remember this, 2 terms in St. Tammany Parish,
It's plenty.
traditionally, and then it's jail for half of those people.
Sir, I promise all of these people right here, all of my crew, I will not do more than 2 terms. I don't like wearing handcuffs in training. I am not wearing them and walking in front of TV cameras where this lady right here or some of her cohorts, like you said, you want to report the news, not be the news. I will stand up in front of a whole group of microphones and talk, and I will back my deputies up to wits end. I will not leave them hanging. If they're right, I will be behind them. If they're wrong, I'll walk them out in front of all those cameras with the handcuffs on. And I mean it. You got to have integrity. It's a one-word answer. People ask me, how are you different than Randy Smith? It's a one-word answer. I have integrity. And I'm not going to embarrass anybody standing in this room. I won't do it. There's too many people in here that would take me out. I'm not going to do that. I'm asking for your help. I'm asking for your support. I need to make this last step. I promise you that I will do a damn good job and I will be a great sheriff. There's a lot of great sheriffs that are now retired and didn't wear handcuffs, and I want to be one of those guys. Thank you. I have any other questions? I'll answer them. Try to anyway. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. And I love these 2 people. I'm going to leave this with one last thing. The sheriff has intimidated a lot of people around this parish. I don't like that. Why are business owners afraid of the sheriff? I don't want anybody. What? Because he's listen, I don't want that stigma attached to me. I want this job for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. I'm doing this for y'all. I'm not doing it for a retirement check. I'm not doing it for medical benefits in 8 years. I get that already. I don't need that. Thank God I got a wife. So it's for the right reasons. And I think every one of these people that are running for office, they're doing it for the right reason. They're doing it for you. And we need to get behind them and support them. Because that's what it's all about. It's all about you. It's not about me. I'm not doing this for me, except that I wanted to get there. So the me part is that. I wanted to make that commitment to y'all, to help you, to do better. I can do a lot better. I want to thank these 2 lovely people again. Thank you. I appreciate it.